On the day of the Epiphany, Sunday, January 6, 2002, the Boston Globe banner, 6-column headline, broke the story of sexual abuse in the Archdiocese of Boston. Not the first time allegations had been made, but for a variety of reasons, it had hit a critical mass, so to speak. And after 11 dreadful months, day in, day out, wow, we didn't know this stuff had been happening. Bernard Francis Law, whom I will not dignify with the title of Cardinal, Bernard Francis Law literally slipped out of town. By that I mean, he took a secret trip to Rome, didn't announce it to anyone, and while in Rome, by pre-arrangement, Pope John Paul, who was not in the best of health, physical or mental, if truth be told, quote, accepted Bernie's resignation, and Bernie didn't have the courtesy or the guts to come back through Boston, but went directly to Maryland for 6 months, where he was chaplain in a convent. I don't think that the good nuns were in any jeopardy, but let's not go down that path. And then moved back to Rome, where he is very honored and lives quite well. So Bernie gets out of Dodge in December of '02. And in December of '03, a short year later, our new Archbishop, then Archbishop, Sean O'Malley, announces that the whole sex abuse thing is behind us, don't worry about it, I've sold my mansion, taken out a few mortgages, it won't come out of your collection plates. That's hogwash, false. But now we have discovered that we have too many parishes. And yet we're still kind of in shell shock. And then we go through a 3 or 4 month process, literally fratricidal, where each of the 357 parishes in one of the largest Catholic dioceses in the United States, and one of the most historic, Archdiocese of Boston, the 357 get together and literally play one of these silly TV games, vote somebody off the island. I don't know if you folks have suffered this indignity, but the cluster process is where you put 2, 3, or 4 parishes in a neighborhood, and the question is, if one of these parishes has to close, which one will it be? Unfortunately, that puts people one against the other. As a result of this, and the timelines are still important, in May of 2004, the day of the FedExes, nice pastoral touch, the Archdiocese of Boston sends out 83 FedExes to 83 pastors of 83 parishes, announcing, you've had it. And in Vatican speak, in nomine Domine, blah, 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 deepest sympathy, too bad we got to do this, but you will be suppressed, which means that as a parish, you no longer exist. Now those 83 constituted about 23% of all parishes across the Archdiocese of Boston. And if truth be told, when this cluster process started, who are we going to toss off the raft? A number of parishes figured, we're in good shape. Our building's great, we've got money in the bank, large numbers of registered parishioners, sacramental indices are very vibrant, and all of this. Too bad about those schmoes down the road, but we're going to be okay. Have a nice day. Bang. On the list of 83 were 11 of the 12 wealthiest parishes in the Archdiocese of Boston. And way after the fact, I remember some guy coming to me, good guy, and saying, but, all this stuff about parishes that can't pay their bills, we have $4 million in our banking account because we sold some land. Why did they close us? I said, Warren, you just answered your own damn question.
We need money. We need your money.
Excuse me?
We need your money.
Yeah, but, and this, I will relate it to you. We were told that there were basically 3 reasons to consider suppressing parishes. Changing demographics, shortage of clergy, parishes that can't pay their bills. Now, let's be clear about something, and I will fast forward this to what you guys are involved with. We have made a lot of progress fighting back over the last 4 years. I come from the world of business. Parishes under canon law are legal entities. Parishes as human institutions are organic. They have a life cycle. I was brought up in Rome, Italy. English is my second language. Sometimes it shows. I do have some views about the Catholic Church. I was beaten over the head by Jesuits for 8 years. Some of it stuck. Parishes are not guaranteed eternal life. Some rise, some fall, some go by the wayside, some thrive. But parishes are Catholic spiritual platforms to reach out into neighborhoods. And unless there's a damn good reason to throw them under a truck, you don't do it, because the mission of our church is to evangelize. So, the group that I formed in Boston, and the word that I'm spreading in New Orleans, Allentown, Pennsylvania, Worcester, and other places is this. If parishes are financially self-sufficient, and if on top of that, and I come from the world of business, they pay their catedraticum, which is their tax to the diocese, of 6%, and they meet your appeals and so forth, leave us the hell alone to do Lord's work and to continue practicing the faith that we've been in. And I won't go into too many rants. But on parishes that can't pay their bills, take that one off the table. On changing demographics, well, yeah. But who's at fault anyway? If you take that literally, our failures, our errors, are the fact that we're getting old. Happens, my wife reminds me. But it is the responsibility of the diocesan bishops to reach out and to bring new people into the fold, to evangelize, starting with the Bishop of Rome. So, don't beat us over the head for the fact that, there's some gray hair showing. Reason number 3, shortage of clergy. Same as the other. Who's responsible for the fact that the seminaries have emptied out over the last few years? Us, the civilians, or the bishops? But let's stick with that one, because that, when you peel away, is one of the reasons they give, the shortage of clergy is a shortage of diocesan clergy, homegrown. As we started rumbling around the Archdiocese of Boston, and this is true in other dioceses, there are many, many qualified religious order men, still all men, by the way, which is all right. I'm not out to change the world. I'm out to save parishes. There are lots of qualified religious who are ready as fully faithful, devout Catholics. Jesuits, Dominicans, Benedictines, Franciscans, I'm not talking about my brother-in-law in a storefront starting some kind of screwball new sect. We're talking about bona fide religious who are willing to staff. And they were told in Boston before they started this closing program, butt out. Because the diocesan bishop calls the shots. Last point. There is a surplus of Catholic priests from Catholic countries poised to come to the United States, particularly in the ethnic parishes, to take over and lend a hand. For St. Stan, there are fully qualified priests in Poland who would love nothing better than to come over. In Lithuania, in India, from the Vietnamese diaspora, in Central Africa, in Latin America. So please, let's not hear these diocesan bishops. Oh, and the last thing, and it's happening out west in other dioceses, they go to a formula, 1 pastor, 2 or 3 parishes. And it works. You make the best with what you've got. Since these bishops have failed to draw replenishments, new men, into the diocesan seminaries. For the first time in history, the seminary in the Archdiocese of New York has zero